Luka's making everyone around him really frustrated. While the Lakers made a 27-point comeback in Dallas, Luka did things like ignore his man completely on defense, or scream at the refs the entire game. Even when his own player makes a bucket, he complains. During plays, instead of focusing, he is stuck on the referee. Mark Cuban's face says it all. Gave him flashbacks of the Lakers' 30-point comeback 21 years ago. But Jason Kidd called him out.
We just got a little distracted with the whistle and just focus on that play. Can't get distracted with the whistle. We have to grow up if we want to win a championship. There's no young team that's ever won a championship, mentally or physically.
That is a direct shot at Luka, saying he is not mature by getting distracted by the whistle. We have to grow up. Every other starter is over 30 years old. Luka is 24. Who do you think he's talking about? Look, when he drops 60 and says,
I'm tired as hell, I need a recovery beer.
It's funny. Recovery beer. But when they lose, not so much. For some reason, Luka just can't stay in shape during the season anymore. If you look back at his rookie highlights, he looks like a different person. It's the same thing in the bubble. Apparently, he used to be able to eat junk food, drink alcohol, smoke hookah.
I'm gonna go with Luka Doncic.
Now he comes into the season skinny, then slowly gets out of shape during the year. And honestly, it doesn't matter how big Luka is if he can still dominate, but there is so much he is leaving on the table. For example, in the Lakers loss the other day, Luka boxes out Jared Vanderbilt to get the board, yes, but doesn't get it because Vando just out-hustles him. It's the same low effort on defense or when he doesn't have the ball on offense. Imagine how much better Luka could be if he took his conditioning seriously. I mean, this is what happened with Nikola Jokic. He finally got in shape, took that seriously, and then won back-to-back MVPs. And don't say Luka is gassed from having to do too much. He is now getting fewer minutes with Kyrie running a unit. This is about Luka. During and after the three-peat in LA, Shaq was openly lazy and out of shape, and it drove Kobe insane. Look at Shaq back in his Orlando Magic days. He was Giannis before Giannis. Then, look at what he became. Dude has so much natural talent, he can afford to party during the summer and not like beat guys in the gym. This led to a shorter prime for Shaq, which will happen to Luka. But guess what? He doesn't really care. Dude already admitted to not watching NBA games. He watches the EuroLeague, if anything, and he doesn't plan on having a long career like LeBron. So it's not a surprise that last summer he was smoking cigarettes while watching the World Cup. And cigars are one thing. Like, I get MJ or LeBron smoking a cigar to celebrate, even Steph, right? But for some reason, cigarettes are just another level. But I do not want this to sound like Luka is their big problem. Of course he's not. He is why they're even competitive. Their biggest problem is no interior defense, which the front office refuses to address, horrible rebounding, and mediocre coaching. But we have to admit, this is just a part of what building your team around Luka is. Very few people have the Mamba mentality. Eventually, this will become old news. Everyone goes crazy on Luka for not coming into the year in shape. It's shocking. In a few years, we'll be like, yeah, okay, that's Luka, whatever. Now, you can say it's BS because he gets paid millions of dollars, but dude's actually living up to his contract. He is awesome in the playoffs. He just doesn't go above and beyond his contract with his conditioning and his discipline. But really, he's not gonna change. This is just who Luka is. I don't care what respected vet sits down with him, like I've heard so many times. Not Jokic, not Dragic, not even Dirk. This will be part of Luka's career. The Mavericks have to live with that. But what they can change is the coaching. Jason Kidd said something bizarre. He sounded like the old Jason Kidd, which is a huge red flag. We all remember when he was coaching the Nets and he told his own player to hit me so that he would spill water and pause the game, which is kind of funny, but people don't talk about the nasty things he did. When coaching the Bucks, he was so mad they lost the game. Kidd asked why they should have the next 2 days off for Christmas. When he didn't like the answer, he said, "Too bad, we are practicing tomorrow 9 a.m. The players were like, wait, we all have flights to go see our families. And he said, I don't care. Practice the next morning was ugly. Kid went at Larry Sanders, calling him a piece of a terrible player. The team ran and ran and ran and ran like a college team would. At one point, a player didn't have an iPhone, which messed up their blue bubble group chat. Kid saw that as the team not being unified, so he punished them by making the team run again. That is so messed up, but Kid promised that he has changed the past few years. But he was asked, why didn't you call a timeout when you were giving up a huge lead to the Lakers the other night? He said, I'm not the savior here. I'm not playing. I'm watching, just like you guys. As a team, we've got to mature. We've got to grow up. What? Are you not the coach? What he's basically saying is, I've got the same impact on this game as you guys do at home. I'm just watching. We're the same, really. Nothing about that loss is on me. Really? You're watching like us? No, you're the coach. This is the exact kind of mind games that he used to pull on the Bucks or the Nets. Imagine being one of the players and hearing the coach take zero responsibility for what just happened. But you know who's quietly watching all of this dysfunction? Kyrie Irving, because he can be a free agent at the end of the year, and it could be a disaster if he leaves. The Mavs gave up their second best playmaker in Spencer Dinwiddie and their best defender in Dorian Finney-Smith for Kai, and could be left with nothing. Next year could be awful. And then we wouldn't have any of these awesome Dallas nicknames like Third Eye Blind, World B Flat, or Fatty and Flatty. I'm just kidding. Do not ever repeat that, okay? I got that from Reddit. It is mean. I never said that. LeBron was fiending for Kyrie Irving before the trade deadline when they got D'Lo and Vanderbilt and Malik Beasley, but it's not over apparently. Not only will the Lakers have $30+ million in cap space to sign Kyrie, but LeBron is still recruiting.
I'm going with the Wizard, aka young guy, Kyrie Irving.
He took Kai with his second pick in the All-Star draft, and did you hear what LeBron said after the actual game?
Yeah, it's the first time for us being teammates, so.
Okay, settle down, act normal.
It's always great to team back up with Kyrie. Obviously, you guys know how I feel about him, both on the court and off the court, so.
But the best case scenario is if LA signs and trades Kyrie for Anthony Davis to the Mavericks. And it turns out LeBron has only played with his best teammates for a maximum of 4 years. If AD remains a Laker through the offseason, it'll be an unprecedented 5th season with LeBron. So how likely is an AD for Kyrie trade? I made a whole video about why it could actually happen.